Welcome to Everything Co-op, bringing you information on how cooperatives can help improve your quality of life. This show is being sponsored by the National Co-op Bank, NCB. The NCB is dedicated to strengthening communities nationwide for the delivery of banking and financial services for the nation's cooperatives, their members, and other socially responsible organizations. For more information on the power of community ownership, visit ncb.coop. That's ncb.coop. Now stay tuned for your host, Vernon Oakes.
Good morning, everybody. This is Vernon Oakes. Welcome to Everything Cooperative. We're glad that you're on this morning. Listen, everybody, we're having a show today, and we have three guests. The guests are Sarah Speare. She's with co-founder of Tootie's, Tempeh, Inc. And we have Angela Dawson. She's the president and CEO of 40 Acre Co-op. And we have Stephen Bediako, who's co-founder and managing director of Basin Labs. And we're going to start this morning with Sarah. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
Glad you're on today. So appreciative that you are taking the time to tell us about the program you're in. Here's a boot camp. It's Start.coop. What is that about, the Start.coop?
Well, Start.coop is a national program, an accelerator program for cooperatives that can scale nationally. It's a highly competitive process to get into, and once you're in, this year's cohort is 6 cooperatives. You are provided with training, coaching, mentoring, all kinds of guidance on the business as well as the cooperative aspects of creating a model for the democratic economy.
And so how long have you been a co-op?
We've been a worker-owned cooperative since May 2019.
Okay, so you're new. You're a year and something old. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah,
found this to be
in startup mode. That's part of what the program really focuses on, accelerating our startup process and supporting us every step of the way. It's an amazing program.
Have you learned much in the program?
Yeah, I mean, it's invaluable. We have group sessions, small group sessions, individual coaching, mentors, and then meeting you wherever your needs are. So we've been working hard on our pitches. We're all raising money. So we'll be culminating with a people's pitch on October 9th as part of the National Cooperative Business Alliance National Conference. So that's on October 9th if people want to come and see what some great scalable cooperatives are doing across the country.
So for folks out there listening, you can go to ncba.coop. That's the National Cooperative Business Association.coop, and you can sign up for their capital impact, which they have every year. But the great thing about this year is all virtual. And if you go sign up now, it's $35. At some point, and I don't remember the date, it goes to $75 to be in. So very inexpensive, and it's 3 days with a lot of different workshops. And in this one, the people's pitch is going to be on October the 9th. So these 6 winners out of 80. There are 80 applicants, and they had competition, and they got it down to 6. And so these 3 of them are on today. So let's get into what it is. Sarah, what is your business that you started?
Thanks. Tootie's Tempeh makes tasty, ready-to-cook, and sustainably made tempeh, which is a delicious plant-based protein. And we do it in a way that supports local agriculture everywhere. So what that means is that we will start in New England and, focus on New England. And then when we're ready to grow and expand, we will open regional production facilities across the country in a cooperative franchise model so that wherever Tootie's is purchased, a consumer is supporting local farmers, communities, and workers. So that's and great. The sustainable part of our operation is that right now all commercial tempeh is fermented with single-use plastic bags. So it sits in a plastic bag for over 24 hours at a high heat. And then it's put in another layer of single-use plastic for its final outer packaging. And we found that to be quite a disconnect with a product that's so healthy and such a superfood. So we've spent a year of R&D developing our own proprietary fermentation chamber that ferments in metal pans instead of plastic bags. And we've also found a recyclable and plant-based film that we can use for our packaging for vacuum sealing instead of a single-use plastic bag. And then our outer box is a paperboard sustainable box. So it has a much better presentation as well than, 2 layers of plastic. What can you say?
Okay. So how many workers do you have? Is worker cooperative? How many workers do you have?
Right now, just the 2 co-founders. And we'll hire our first, hopefully some soon to be other worker owners during our first year of production. And then, like I said, in year 3, when we start expanding to the franchise cooperative, each one of the franchises will also have up to 10 workers, maybe more. We're not quite sure. We'll figure it all out in our first pilot here in New England. Yeah.
So you're out of Maine. So you're up in New England doing Tempeh.
Yep, and soybeans. I just heard that the soybean crop in Maine, despite the drought, is actually a bumper crop this year. I think because of our wet spring. I don't know, but yeah, we're happy to support local farmers here.
So how did you get the funding for this business?
We got a grant in the beginning for the R&D part to develop the fermentation chamber from the Maine Technology Institute. There's a monetary award from Start.coop that also helped. We have a large loan for the equipment that we purchased that we got from the Cooperative Fund of New England. And we've gotten an SBA loan as well as some equity that we're raising right now. We've raised close to $50,000 right now, and we're hoping to get up to $170,000 during our first year of operations.
So did Start.coop help you with that?
Yes, they give cash as well as in-kind. That is an equity investment.
Great news. So do you like doing this work, Sarah?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's a passion, and it feels incredible to be really digging deep into the values that are my values and also the values of cooperatives in terms of really working towards the health and wellness of people, animals, and the planet. So that's why I wake up every day, and yes, it's a lot of fun.
So when you wake up every day, do you wake up with a smile like, let's go do this?
Let's go Tooties.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hard. As anyone who's been an entrepreneur before, you have to be incredibly flexible and nimble and, positive and work really, really hard. And the beautiful thing about cooperatives is that you also cross-train, so you're constantly learning. And, so it's great. Thanks.
So why did you choose to be a co-op as opposed to a regular for-profit capitalist business?
Well, I've been in that other side of the business and seen how oppressive and just unfair it is. And so it just seemed like a natural in terms of when we wanted to expand by supporting local farmers everywhere, that it sort of is the core ethic of a cooperative is to support communities and local people. So it just felt natural and really came from a place where I've seen one person or a group of people have too much power and the workers be diminished and not listened to. And so I felt that it was important to empower workers.
So what you're really talking about, you just talked about 3 of the 4 principles, and we'll talk about that later on in this session. If somebody wanted to reach you either to buy the Tempeh from you or to see about working from you or starting their own franchise, even though it may not be 3 years before they do it, how would they do that? How would they contact you?
Well, they can go to our website, which is tootie's.tempeh.com, or they can email me at sarah@tootie's.tempeh.com, and it's TOOTIES, and Tempeh is TEMPEH.
Would you spell it a little bit slower?
Sorry, TOOTIES, Tooties, and Tempeh is TEMPEH. Tempeh's been around for hundreds of years, actually, and was developed first in Indonesia. And it's the staple diet of all Indonesians. And it came over here in the probably 50s and 60s, and it's been growing in popularity as people have become more aware of the impact of animal agriculture on climate change and on their own health, as well as, the fact that we're systematically abusing sentient animals. So more and more people are eating plant-based. Like 65% of Americans are reducing their consumption of meat. So Tempeh is a real natural place for people to gravitate to because it's simple and clean. It's just made of fermented beans, so it doesn't have this huge ingredient list of things you don't know what they are. It's just pure, and it's incredibly high protein, as much protein as beef, and full of vitamins and minerals, and it's also fermented, so it's really great for your digestive support.
It sounds wonderful. So it's Tootsie's Tempeh .com or .coop?
It's .com. We got that before we were incorporated as a cooperative.
So I would encourage you to change that. Just make it's an easy application to get that .coop. So if you really want to get a hold of Tootsie Tempeh, you can go to their webpage, www.tootieStempeh.com, or you can email her at sarah@tootsietempeh.com if you want to get more information. And I'll be doing that. I'm really interested in trying it because I have been I'm moving more toward plant-based. I'm only down to fish now, and I'm getting ready to take that out. And I want to see if I can put this in my diet. So
my son made tempeh tacos the other day, and he's a carnivore and eats just about anything. And he said it tasted just like a fish taco. We made it with like a mango sauce and I don't know, just all the same things, and it has a texture that's very similar to fish. It's sort of light and textury. Yeah. So there you go.
So everybody, we're going to take our first break. Sarah, thank you so much for that. And we're going to come back. We're going to talk to Angela. Her co-op is called 40 Acres Cooperative. We'll be right back. Please don't touch that dial.
Your news talk station.
Information is power. That's why WL is a great, great partner for this program, because on this program, National Cooperative Bank is our sponsor, and the idea is to give you information about cooperatives so you can do like these three contestants have done and start your own. Get 2, 3, 4, 5 people and start your own business, create your own job, create your own profits. You don't have to go out looking for somebody else to get a job for. You can do your own thing. Then the idea is to find a business where you can solve some community problem. And Sarah just talked about Tootie's Tempeh, and they are providing tempeh and help people that are going more plant-based, and they're doing it in a way that helps the environment. So now we're going to talk to Angela, who's 40 Acre Cooperative. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Vernon. Thank you for having us on the show today.
Thank you for being here. So what is 40 Acre Co-op? What do you do?
Well, 40 Acre Cooperative is a nationwide cooperative that focuses on bringing economic market opportunities to farmers across the United States. We're focusing, for the most part, on hemp production for farmers because that is one of the newest and leading markets that create the best margins for our members.
What's hemp?
Hemp Hemp is
Yes.
a plant that was just recently had been illegal in the United States for the past 75 years, and with the 2018 Farm Bill was set to be legal to grow in the United States and in 50 states and Puerto Rico. And it's a regenerative plant that provides many economic opportunities and production and in industry across the world.
So is that marijuana? Is that hemp?
Oh, no, actually hemp is not marijuana. So actually hemp is the agricultural name for the cannabis sativa plant. So the scientific name for the plant overall is cannabis sativa. Cannabis can contain many cannabinoids, which THC is one of them. And but the hemp plant is free of THC, but it has other cannabinoids that we use for various uses in personal care and industry.
So what are some of the uses when you say personal care? Is that soap or something, or?
Sure. I mean, well, in total, the plant is said to have 35,000 uses in general. So the hemp plant, the cannabis sativa plant, has some health benefits. There's a lot of research that's been done with the FDA, and other federal government agencies are now beginning to approve research, because now that the plant is legal, we're able to find to conduct much more research and be able to find out all of the wonderful applications that hemp has. But it's everything from personal care to health care, wellness, and then there's industrial uses like paper, textiles, clothing. It's being researched to replace plastics and many other applications in the United States. Right now, we're focusing on the CBD and personal care and healthcare applications of the plant, but we have so much more to experiment and to learn about how hemp can improve the quality of the life of our farmers and our communities.
That's phenomenal. So what's CBD? So you said CBD, personal care, and something else I missed.
Yes, personal care, health and wellness, and there's industrial applications. But right now we're focusing on CBD, which is short for the term cannabidiol. And cannabidiol is basically, it includes a whole spectrum of molecules in the hemp plant that have a different kind of effect depending on what people's certain needs are. So for the CBD application, we have there's different forms of CBD. There's CBDA. There's it kind of can get scientific and technical, which we have a physician on our team to help break down sort of the health and scientific aspects of CBD. But basically, the way that we treat it is in a full spectrum way, which means that it has sort of an entourage effect for people, and all of the different cannabinoids within the hemp plant provide different kinds of effects for people, and it all depends on the potency of the plant, right? So the 40 Acre Co-op really focuses on producing high-quality CBD plants, meaning that we're producing plants that are free of chemicals, of toxins, of pesticides, and that have the highest quality CBD elements that provide the best effects for the customers that are using our products.
So I have a cousin that has glaucoma, and the doctors prescribe something for him. Is that within the CBD range? Mm-hmm. And they have cookies and other stuff that they put this plant in that helps him with his glaucoma. And he tries to eat as much of it as he can. So he likes the feeling.
Yes, it can go in. It can go in food. It can go in. It can go in hair products. It can go in body products, facial care products, soaps, shampoos. But yes, there's many different uses for the plant, and that's why we're so excited that it has been legalized, and we're wanting to get more education and information out to our farmers, in particular black farmers who historically have been shut out of agricultural opportunities, and specifically in the cannabis and hemp industry. We see that there's a lack of diversity in ownership. And that's really what the 40 Acre Co-op is focused on, is, educating people about the many uses of the plant, getting the best expertise in the field, and then finding the farmers who are ready and able to help grow the plant and bring quality hemp and CBD to the community.
I think it's phenomenal what you're doing, and so I have a shout-out for you to for doing this, because I've been working on 2 projects, one in California and one in Maryland, helping people do their business plans to get the license to grow these plants. And both of these were blacks, and neither one of them got it. And there's been conversations about how blacks are not getting into this. It's more, and then white folks, even Congress people, are getting into this, or as they get out of the House, they'll get into it because it's a money crop. So we really want our black farmers to get into it. I appreciate what you're doing. What's your success? How successful have you been in getting black farmers into this, producing this, and selling it?
40 Acre Co-op's, mission is very attractive, I'd say, to a range of farmers across the country. We are focused on organizing black farmers in particular. We say that we support socially disadvantaged farmers, but as you mentioned, Vernon, there's a lot of disparity within the green hemp industry, meaning that 80% of most hemp and cannabis businesses are owned by white males. And then we have the flip side of the disparity where most of the arrests that have happened when cannabis was illegal, we have about 70% arrest rate for African Americans. So this disparity with the criminalization of the plant versus the ownership and the business opportunities is something that we're really focusing on.
So on one hand, on the criminal side of it, blacks have gotten arrested, and I would have thought it was 90%, not 70%, because I have 3 nephews and 1 great-nephew in jail right now because of this. So it's real personal to me that black folks get in jail for distribution, growing and distribution, and have done it. And they've gotten high 10, 15, 20-year sentences. So it's, arrested for this and very, very high, how long they have to stay in there. And now when they make it legal, and there's financial awards for it, the financials of why these brothers particularly would go out on a street corner and sell this stuff. The rewards then go to the white folk. The 80% of this business is white, and I would have thought it would be more like 90%, because my experience in it is the blacks that I've tried to help get into this business have not gotten into it. And just a real quick, I taught marketing at Howard for 5 years, and I used a case on the marijuana business to teach the class about it. And at that time, which was in the 90s, late 80s and early 90s, the outcome was not financial. It would be financial for a while, but the end result was death or imprisonment. Very few of the people in the business ended up having the financial rewards and the financial wealth. Now they legalize it, then we're shut out. So hallelujah for what you're doing. That's my preaching this morning. So how is it for you? I mean, do you like doing this? Do you wake up in the morning like Sarah, excited about what you're doing?
Well, it's really similar. Farming is my passion. I'm a 4th generational farmer, which means my father was a farmer, his father was a farmer, and his father was a farmer. And mostly in the Iowa, Kansas City area. So we're 4th generation farmers up here in the Midwest. And it's been really difficult, I think, over the years, generationally, right? Because we haven't really had a community of black farmers up here to really support each other. And so, yes, farming is my passion. Bringing the community together around something that can be inspirational and profitable and that can change our economic future is something that keeps me up, all night, and it does wake me up in the morning. I love working with plants. I love sustainable agriculture, and I love my people. So yes, this is something that I'm passionate about, and I love this work.
I love. You said it 3, 4, 5 times. I love
did.
that you're doing it. I love that you're doing it. Okay, and you can help other people. How many workers? We only have about 30 seconds here, but how many farmers or members do you have now?
Yeah, so we have about 25 members in the co-op and about another 25 in the pipeline, meaning that they're engaging with our membership coordinator. They come to meetings. They come to our Zoom meetings. They're on our email list.
We've got to take our second break. We'll be right back, everybody. Please don't touch that dial. We've been talking about food so far. We're going to talk about something else when we come back.
Your news talk station.
Good morning, everybody. This is Vernon Oakes, and the program you're listening to is Everything Co-op. This program is being brought to you by the National Cooperative Bank. NCB has been our partner and supporter for the 7 years we've been on. We would have been on, our anniversary is October, same as October month, the same month that we'll have NCBA's Capital Impact. I think October 7th, 8th, and 9th. You can go online and get onto that. NCB's mission is to support and be an advocate for America's cooperatives and their members, especially in low-income communities, by providing innovative financial and related services. And some of the folks that we've been talking to this morning have been in low-income communities, but they're all about social impact and how they can improve our environment. We talked to Sarah first from Tootie's Tempeh, and then we talked with Angela from she does agriculture, 40 Acre Cooperative. And now we have the opportunity to talk to Stephen, who is African descent from the UK, and he has a co-founder and managing director of Turning Basin Labs. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Vernon. How you doing?
I'm great, sir. I'm great. I'm really good. And what is Turning Basin Labs?
Well, yeah, thanks for having me and for the opportunity to talk about Turning Basin Labs. We are a staffing agency based out of California. We support contractors or low-wage workers to find contract roles in technology, manufacturing, or research. But as a co-op, we then offer those contractors ownership in our agency. We provide them with career support, and we also provide them with a community and a network to find other roles.
Okay, so if I have a construction company, I'm a contractor, I can come to you and you help me staff my workers, and I'm a part of the co-op.
Yeah.
That's
right. You could be an employer. You could come to us and say, hey, look, I need 5 or 6 workers, and we'll help you find those workers. We'll place them. You might want to treat them as contractors, but we'll put them through to you as a contractor, but then they'll be employed by us. And then we'll try and find them other roles. And basically, as they earn hours working for you, they then earn ownership into our co-op. But we also support people directly. So, we have workers who come to us directly and say, hey, I've got these 3 or 4 gigs that I'm managing. Can you help me manage these and process the finances and provide me insurance and help me negotiate pay rate and that kind of stuff? So we work both ways.
Okay, so your members are both the workers that you help get jobs, temporary jobs or so forth, and then they're also the contractors could be that have the jobs and they need workers, and you help both sides of it. And both of those could be members?
Exactly, yeah. Both of those types of workers can be members. Employers can't really be members. They can be supporters, buy from us, commit to us, maybe donate to us. But yeah, those 2 types of workers are the people that make up our co-op.
Okay, so if somebody wants to reach you, how would they reach you? They need some workers. Are you just in California? You work in California, or are you nationwide?
We're just in California at the minute. We're quite new. We only started in August 2019. We got going, and then obviously we were impacted by COVID-19. But then thankfully we also joined the Start.coop program, and that's been tremendous to really help us refocus, repivot, and now we're growing again. We're just in California at the minute, but we want to open up other chapters across the U.S. once we've got a bit of scale and made a bit more progress.
Okay. So I have done construction work. I had a construction company, and getting those workers is difficult and keeping them employed. So if you've got a worker, would you have told me in my company, I've got somebody to meet this need. I need somebody to do drywall. So you have somebody to do drywall. Do you tell me the price, or do I set the price for what I'm going to pay that person?
Great question. We'll agree the price with you together. We try and make sure that all our workers are paid a fair rate. So we only put people to work if they're getting paid more than $20 an hour, and part of that is the kind of cost of living in California, especially in the Bay Area. But we'll make sure that worker is getting a fair rate, and then we'll agree a rate with you as the employer. And there'll usually be a markup in there, which obviously covers insurance, our operating costs, contribution to the co-op. But we're not in it to try and make lots of money. We see ourselves as a progressive staffing agency, and so we're in it to make enough to cover our costs, reinvest in the co-op, but really get that person to work and get you the talent that you need.
And so, what about the fringe benefits for that laborer? You got a good hourly rate, $20 plus whatever that the cost of living adjustment may be, but what about fringes?
Yeah, so we're still early stages, and we are offering benefit discounts to our workers. So we have partnerships with different providers who can get our workers discounted healthcare, discounted travel. We actually have a benefits directory, which is just a list of all the different benefits that are actually available to all Californian citizens that just our contractor community just don't know about, right? Because we're not getting pulled together enough. So we make that available. But again, Start.coop has been great to help us get a plan in place to grow. We're raising investment. We're increasing our customers. And once we've put about 35 workers to work so far, but once we've got to about 100, then we think we'll have the scale to be able to potentially try and secure a benefit on behalf of our workers, which we think will probably be healthcare in the first instance.
So are these 35 workers members of the co-op now?
Actually, no, not all 35 are members. For us, it's all about choice, Vernon. We don't want to force people to be part of something if they don't want to be. If they just want to come in, use our services and go, that's fine. If they want to come in, use our services, and then they find another job somewhere, a full-time job, that's also fine. But we love it when people want to stay and maybe they're doing different jobs, but we remain their employer of record. So of those 35 workers, I think about 7 or 8 have signed up to be part of the co-op. A number of them are still working with us. So, we hope that number will increase.
So, Stephen, what's the benefits of being a member? Okay, so I don't have to be a member. I'm getting $25 an hour working with you, through you. I've got a job, and I've also, when this job finishes in 3 months, you'll help me find another job. We're working together. So I'm cool. This is better than anything else I've ever had. Why would I want to become a member?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's those kind of free co-op benefits that, are really primarily for our members. And, it's for our members that we will double down and support them around those benefits. So the first one is, we've got a network. We've got a whole network of different employers, past workers, mentors, coaches who, we can tap into, right, to help you find that next role or link into some group that you want to link in. The second one is career support, right? So, we want to support our workers to develop their careers. We're living in this age where, if you're a contract worker, employers are just like, right, I just want you to come in, do the work, and go. I'm not going to help you think about your career steps or what training you need or what learning and development you need. And so we're there to kind of offer that to our workers. And then the final one really is that if you stay a member of our co-op, then you share with our profits at the end of the year. We're registered as a co-op in the state of California. It's one member, one vote. Every member gets a capital account. And at the end of the year, after all costs are covered, any investment in the business is covered, then profits are shared between members of the co-op. So, I'm hopeful that at the end of our first full year trading, which will probably be this end of this calendar year, we'll be able to pay something. It might be small, but we'll be able to pay something to those members of the co-op.
Well, if you can do that in your first year, that's phenomenal because most businesses don't make money their first year. You're not profitable. As a matter of fact, most in their first year may have a deficit, and that's why they need to get loans and so forth. So if you can do that in their first year, it's great. The first dividend check I got in a purchasing co-op was $2.98. I have it saved. I'm a frame it. I didn't cash it. Okay, I was so excited to get this $2.98, man. So yeah, if you can do this the first year, that'd be hallelujah to you. And plus getting coaches and career support, training and learning and guiding people through. Maybe they'll have their own construction company one day or their own painting company or electrical company. There's all kinds of plumbing right now. The plumbers make huge dollars. So yeah, there's a lot, and they could, yeah, it would be wonderful. I like this. How did you come up with this, and how did you learn about co-ops?
Well, you can probably tell I'm originally from the UK, but I moved to the US about 3 years ago, and I really moved because I knew there was a whole challenge emerging around contractors and contract workers, and I think, I was inspired that, the US will be the place that will try and solve it as well, and so connected with a good friend, and we've been doing work around low-wage workers and supporting contract workers in the California economy. And then, we came across the idea of maybe starting a staffing agency, but, trying to reverse it and trying to be a progressive staffing agency. And so he had staffing experience. I had experience of starting lots of organizations in the UK and in the US. And we brought that together, and an initial funder agreed to give us a go. But, it has been a tough journey. We've only been going for a year, and COVID-19 had a real impact, especially on our workers, But, we feel like we've lent into that challenge, and, we're starting to develop again. And actually, we feel like our service is needed more than ever as people are looking for work and people are finding themselves in contract roles and precarious roles. We want to help kind of solve some of that.
So there are 4 different segments of co-ops. The first one is if the employees own the business, it's called a worker co-op. And Sarah and you have a worker co-op, which we talked about earlier, and that's the employees own it. And that's all of the things that you talked about, the benefits of this. And we're going to talk more about this in the next segment, the different principles of co-ops. If you make money, you get to keep it. The workers, in this case, would share in that. Or they would at least say what happens to that money, and they could decide which dividend they would want. And then there's a consumer co-op. If it's owned and controlled by the person that uses the products and services, it's a consumer co-op. And housing co-ops, credit unions, food co-ops could be either worker or consumer. Most of them started as consumers. So that's the second type. The third type is people get together or companies, particular farmers, to buy what they need, and they call it a producer co-op. If they buy in bulk, they can normally get a better quality at a lower price, and then distribute that to their members. And then if it's a company or a group of companies come together and create a marketing co-op or a producer co-op, and that's what Angela has done. These are farmers, and farmers like they own Cabot Creamery, Land O'Lakes, Ocean Spray. And then there's a marketing co-op, Ujamaa, in Pittsburgh. There's a group of black women that got together, and they're artists, and they create jewelry. And I went there in July a year or two ago, and I bought all of my Christmas gifts there, jewelry, clothing, paintings, woodwork, and they buy from other black folks around the world. So those are 4 types, and we've got 2 of those types represented here today. Do you like what you do, Stephen? Do you wake up in the morning feeling great about your work, or are you saying like a lot of workers that you're now working with, they would sort of hate to get up in the morning to go push that broom or whatever they're doing?
No, it's great. I feel like I've really found a purpose. I think for me, over my career, I've landed in a place where work is just so important. Like we've all got to go and work or find work or do work, and so for me, there's nothing better than trying to find that win, right, between the worker and the employer. Trying to find the worker that role at a fair rate. Make sure that they're realizing their potential. But then also, trying to work with those employers to kind of realize.
Well, we've got to take our final break, and we'll be back, and we'll talk about the cooperative principles with Sarah, Angela, and Stephen. We'll be right back. Please don't touch that dial.
Your news talk station.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Vernon Oakes. The program is Everything Co-op, and we have 3 wonderful guests today, Sarah, Angela, and Stephen. And now we're going to talk about the cooperative principles, and I want to go in that same order, Sarah, Angela, and Stephen. I want you to say the name of the company, and the first one is volunteer and open membership. Do you use that principle in your company, Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah, Tootie's Tempeh. We do, and as I said, we're only 2 right now, but we're really looking forward to having 2 more by the end of the year. And it's open and volunteer, and we hope that they'll share the values and want to become one.
Great. Angela.
Yes. At 40 Acre Cooperative, our mission is to support Black and socially disadvantaged farmers, and so we're open to anyone who's in line with that mission.
And how would somebody reach you? What's your webpage, and how would they reach you?
Our website is www.40acrecoop.us. That's spelled out FORTYACRECOOP.us.
Okay, fantastic. And so it's open no matter of gender, social, racial, political, or religious organization. And you're focused toward Black farmers and marginalized folks.
Absolutely.
Okay, Stephen, what about you in that first principle?
We're the same about in ownership. If people want to join, they can join. If not, again, we are focused on building a more diverse, inclusive workforce in the Bay Area. So that's a big part for us. But free and open to anyone to join and volunteer.
And how would somebody reach out to you? What's your webpage?
www.turningbasinlabs.com. So TURNING basinlabs.com.
Okay. Let's go to the second principle, democratic member control, one member, one vote. Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, that's at the core of why we're a cooperative. So that's definitely important. And even equity investors don't have a place on the board. They don't have a vote. It's just member workers.
And that is Tempeh.com. You can get here. Angela, what about you with the second principle of democratic member control?
Yes, farmer members have one member, one vote. But yes, equity investors do not vote in the co-op. So definitely about farmer control.
Stephen.
Yeah, we're the same. One member, one vote. We are thinking and exploring because we want to grow. We want to try and get 100,000 workers as part of our co-op over the next 10 years. So we're definitely
fantastic.
Big goal, big ambitions. But we're definitely thinking about how would that work with that many potential members. We haven't got the answers yet, but it's something we're thinking about.
Okay, so that's turningbasinlabs.com, turningbasinlabs.com. So now we're going to go to the third principle, member economic participation. We've talked about that a little bit. Sarah, how does that member economic participation work for you?
Well, at Tootie's Tempeh, there's a cost to become a member owner, and they can pay over time. It can be taken out of their salary over time. There's no pressure to pay it up front at all. So we're trying to make it as easy and accessible to become a member.
How much?
It's $5,000.
And what about payout? If it's profits, do they get a share in that profit?
Yes, exactly. So as soon as we're profitable, it's up to the member owners to decide how to divide that up. So we're hoping to have some shares.
I want to go to Angela now because we got to move this a little bit faster. Angela, what about you with member economic participation?
Absolutely. That's really one of the main focuses of the co-op is the economic model that we're bringing to farmers. So, yes, patronage refunds and also discounts on key supplies for farmers and a lot of economic benefits that we have organized for our members. And there is a membership cost, and it is a $500 lifetime fee.
Okay. Thank you. Can they pay that out on a payment plan or all at once?
Payment plans are available.
Stephen.
Yeah, we obviously offer. Yeah, we offer ownership and hopefully an annual payout from profits to our members. We don't charge any member fees at the minute because it's kind of baked into the maths around placing our contractors. So we charge a small fee and the employers are paying that. So no fees for workers to join our co-op. You've just got to work at least 100 hours. And then you become a member.
Okay. Well, I like the 100 hours, at least something there. Good. That's the member economic participation. Now we go to the fourth principle, autonomy and independence, which means you have to have control. Sarah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a core to our franchise model. So each franchise will be autonomous, and they will definitely use our turnkey operation in terms of our proprietary fermentation chamber, but they can grow whatever beans grow in their area and make tempeh out of chickpeas or black beans. And here in New England, we use soybeans because they grow really well here, but we can't grow the other ones. So there's definite autonomy is key.
Well, I eat a lot of soybeans, particularly in hummus, so not soybeans. You mentioned something else earlier. Okay.
Oh, chickpeas, yeah.
Chickpeas. Angela, what about you with autonomy and independence?
Yes, absolutely, because, most of our farmers have their own businesses. So we do support their business individually, and then we also support them as members of the co-op. And then we also regionalize because we are a national co-op and we are encouraging farmers from all around the country to join. We regionalize our operations because, plants and regional economies are really important. So we encourage farmers to grow their businesses and support their local communities.
So this one also autonomy and independence is focused on that there's no government agency will come in and tell you what to do, and when you borrow money, the investors will not come in and tell you what to do, but it's always the members have control in the economy. So I heard you say yes to that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Stephen?
Yeah, all our workers have autonomy and independence. We are simply there to support them, especially contractors, right? So the idea is that if they've got one role somewhere else, we'll try and help them find other roles so that, they're not feeling like they're stuck or they can't move around. And so all our workers have autonomy and independence.
Oh, great. So number 5 is education, training, and information. And this is the one that I loved first when I was introduced to co-ops 30 years ago, because I saw everyday people really managing and getting the information to manage and run businesses successfully. I was doing property management. So Sarah, what about you with education, training, and information for your members?
Yeah, at Tootie's Tempeh, we love this one too, and we've already, even in our startup phase, have been able to implement so that the other co-founder, Barbara Fiore, and I are able to do each other's jobs, and we're cross-training, and we're really looking forward to that when our production line is set up, so that anyone can do any job, and we're always learning and sharing information.
And I see a big piece of that, Sarah, is getting everybody in there to understand what a co-op is, how it functions, how they have to vote, how they have to be informed, and know the business and the business numbers, financial numbers, and all of that stuff.
Exactly, all that transparency and yep.
Well, you just mentioned the other reason I like it was the second reason was the ethical values of honesty, openness, transparency, social responsibility, and caring for one another. Okay. What about you, Angela, with education, training, and information?
Yeah, 40 Acre Co-op, one of the things that about education is really important for us because black farmers have been left out of the agricultural industry and the development and technology and education that has gone on over the past 70 to 80 years. So we're starting our own cohort training, as a matter of fact, just because of that very issue around the inequity in education in the industry. So that's very important to us, and we're finding better ways to deliver training, obviously, in this challenging time to our members. It's been really important for us.
Stephen, education, training, and information.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of our core pillars. We've been running kind of monthly events for our members. We'll be starting back up again this autumn, and we'll get speakers along for that and different experts to discuss stuff and support people. And then we're providing kind of online materials. And then we've also got a set of partners that we work with. So we've got great partners like JVS who support our workers with training and skills development. So we pull them in as well.
So the next two we're not going to have time to get to, cooperation among co-ops, but you're already doing that with Start.coop and being a part of that and looking for other co-ops like the Federation of Southern Co-ops or Black Farmers in the South. So there's different kinds of things you can do, different purchasing co-ops and everybody, and they like to share. Co-ops love to share. And then there's concern for community, and all of you talked about that, which is wonderful that you're looking at how you can provide fermented foods and help the environment and economy. I've enjoyed you all very much. Thank you for what you're doing. I'm looking forward to hearing you on October 9th at the Impact. You all have a wonderful day, and everybody out there, please have a great week and live cooperatively. Thank you for being here.